Welcome everyone in lecture 17 of unit 4, and in this lecture we are going to design PDA for a raised to power I, b raised to power j, c raised to power k, where I equal to j or j equal to k, and this is the same language for which we designed PDA in last lecture. In last lecture we took decision on reading B. Either I have to pop A for I equal to j, because in I equal to j this language look like an, bn and c raised to power m for I equal to j. So on reading B, I pushed all A's first into the stack, and on reading first B I took decision whether I have to do I equal to j or j equal to k. So in case of I equal to j, what we did, we popped A on reading B, and in case of j equal to k, on reading B, what we did, on reading B we pushed B so that we can pop B on reading C. So this is look like a raised to power m, b raised to power n, c raised to power n, where on reading B we pushed B so that we can pop it with the C. Or in I equal to j, on reading B, what we did, we popped A on reading page. Here what we did, we pushed B so that it can be popped with reading C. So we took decision on the B. On reading B, either I have to do this or this. In this lecture we tried another way, that is a raised to power I, b raised to power j, c raised to power k, I equal to j or j equal to k can be looked as a raised to power n, b raised to power n, c raised to power n for I equal to j, and a raised to power m, b raised to power n, c raised to power n for j equal to k. So either on reading A, push A's and pop A on A's on reading B's and do nothing for C's. One way is this, and for j equal to k, do nothing for A's and push B's and pop B's on reading C's. So here I am taking decision on A. Either I have to push A or either I have to do nothing for A. Either I am going for this way or j equal to k. Either I am going to do I equal to j or j equal to k. I am taking decision on reading age. Either I have to push it, either I have to do nothing for age. So PDA can be designed as, PDA here can be designed as, I am reading first A, and here either I am going to push it or I am going to do nothing. So here I have two choice. I am going to q1 and pushing A here, or I am going to q2 and do nothing. So I took the decision on the very first A. So I am going to do either push operation or do nothing operations, and the PDA will be divided into two parts. In one part we are going to do I equal to j, in second part we are going to do j equal to k. So I am on q1, q1 means we are pushing edge, so there may be more edge. A will be on the top, and we are making a loop here, q1a. Using this transition we can push all edge. Then I will read b, that will be the first b, so change the state here and pop a, because in I equal to j we have to pop a with the b. And after that there may be more b's, so we have to pop all a on reading all b's. So we are making loop of pop operation here. And after that there can be c, this is the first c, and what will be the on the top, and we pushed a, we popped a. Now at the top there will be z0, and on reading c we have to do nothing in I equal to j, because when I equal to j we are not concerned about cage. K can be any number greater than equal to 1. So here this is the first c, we are doing do nothing, and there can be more c's, we are doing do nothing operation for all c's. And at the end of the input we will reach to the final state, say qf, and be popped it. So this is the way where we are doing I equal to j, we are pushing edge and popped a with the b, we are matching, we are doing an bn followed by cm. So here we pushed a, then we popped a and do nothing for c's and reach to the finalist. In second part of the problem where we are going to match j equal to k, it's mean we are going to do b and cn, and we have to do nothing for edge, then push b, then pop b with c. So we reach to the q2, and we did do nothing for first a, then there can be more edge, and we have to do nothing for all edge. Then we will read b, then this is the first b, z0 will be on the top because we didn't push a, and we are changing state here to new state, say q5, because q3 q4 is used, and b pushed a, b pushed first b. Then there can be more b's, b will be on the top, so by this loop we can push all b's into the stack. Then we will read first c, then we will read first c, b will be on the top, we are changing state here and popped this b, and there can be more b's on this, the more c on in the input and more b on the stack. So by this cycle, this loop, we can pop all b's one by one. Then we will reach to the end of the input, z0 will be on the stack because we didn't push a here, we pushed b, we popped b, and now we will reach to the final state. So here I took the decision on the very first day, either I am going to do I equal to j or I am going to do j equal to k, and PDA will be PDA m is equal to having a set of states q0, q1, q2, q3, q4, q5, q6 and qf, having input symbol a comma b comma c, and what we pushed into the stack a, b, z0, and transitions are as these: q0 is the start state, z0 is the final state, and qf is the final state. z0 is the stack initial symbol and qf is the final state. And this PDA can be accepted by empty stack also. Here we need not to change the state, we can leave it q4, we can leave it q6, and we can mention 5 In this place we can mention 5. And acceptance by final state and acceptance by empty stack both are equivalent, because by reaching to a final its mean input is accepted, or by making stack empty it's mean that we have a stack, we did some operation on stack, and at the end we properly use the stack, so that stack is empty and language is accepted. So a PDA can be designed in more ways. We designed the PDA for same language by 2 way, and this PDA is also non deterministic PDA, push down automata, because of this transition. Here for the very first transition on Q0 reading A and Z0 on this stack, we have two choices. Either we are going to do push operation and moving to Q1, or we are going to do nothing and moving to Q2. So here we have two choices. And in deterministic PDA we have at most one choice, we have maximum one choice in case of DPDA. In case of NPDA there can be more than one choices, as we can see here. Another thing is that in deterministic PDA null moves is allowed only at the end of the input. In NPDA null move can be in between the input also. We assume that there is epsilon in between some age, or in between after some A and B there can be epsilon in between here there. Now we are going to know what is deterministic CFL, or we can say DCFL. And we know that a language is context free language if we can write CFG for it, or we can design PDA for it. So for any language, if we can design PDA or we can write CFG, then language is context free. And in these context free languages, some languages are known as deterministic context free languages. A context free language is deterministic context free language if there exists a deterministic push down automata for it. So if for a CFL we can design a DPDA, if for a CFL if we can design a DPDA, then this CFL will known as DCFL. So this is the definition of deterministic CFL. And one more thing is that in deterministic PDA moves are clear. There is maximum one move. There are no choices. In DPDA there is no choices. So moves are clear. So in DPDA we can design the complement also, as in DFA we can take the complement by changing the state, switching the state in final and non-final. Similarly in DPDA we can design the complement of we can design the PDA for the complement of that language also. So DCFLs are closed under complement. So we can design PDA for these languages by taking the complement. So these languages are also, the complement is also context free in this case. All CFLs, in all CFL we cannot take complement, but in DCFL we can take complement. Thanks for attending the lecture.